Good evening. We're live, finally. Wasn't sure I was going to make it tonight. But here we are. We made it. That's the main thing. Hope you're all well. Slight change of plans tonight. I had originally planned to copy someone on VATSIM and make our way across to Amsterdam while being in observer mode on VATSIM and basically trying to learn the ropes. I've been sat here at the gate for like 50 minutes nearly waiting for this plane to actually go, the one that I decided to copy and follow along with. And they just weren't moving, and then they disconnected, and then you thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a normal stream and I'll do some VATSIM training over the weekend because I just sort of want to fly now. I'm kind of a little bit bored. So the plane's mostly set up because I did quite a lot of that during the initial waiting around just a few moments ago while I was on VATSIM. I'm just going to step through the route. So I'm not overly familiar with the route from Frankfurt to Amsterdam. Right, so we've got discontinuity there. Oh, okay. That's quite a big discontinuity, isn't it? Almost like, looks like we need a via. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What was that? 3-6 right. And it was the NOR 2A. So what would that look like? That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Let's insert that. See what we get now. Slightly curious how tonight's stream is going to go, because obviously this one wasn't scheduled in any way, shape or form. Let's look at that. 220 knots, decel, 180, 2000. Straight in. Easy peasy. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame about the VATSIM plan for tonight. But there comes a point where you kind of just got to stop waiting and do your own thing, I guess. What's the flight plan today? Flight level 240. Oh, it's looking good. I think we can think about getting a beacon light on and doing a push and start.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Slightly loud. How should we do it? Let's use our pushback tool today. Have a look at the tool.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate.
Can we do it like a multi-step one? So if I do...
You can follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket.
Click.
Please fasten your seatbelt and insert the
Yeah,
flat handle
look at that.
the buckle and pull on the strap to tighten. To release, just lift the top flap of the buckle. Please keep your seatbelt back a little tight across your lap, even when the seatbelt sign is off, and have it.
Nice. And then I can actually probably finish it there.
Your life vest is in a
Sweet.
pouch under your seat. It's extracted by the third pair of the pouch.
Right, let's request pushback.
Wrap the strap around your waist. Secure the buckle and pull the strap tight. As you exit the aircraft, place the vest to strap firmly on the red tab while blowing into the tubes on both sides. A locator light on the shoulder will turn on automatically in order, and remember, never place your vest inside the aircraft. This Airbus A320 is 8 emergency exits, 2 doors in the front, 4 window exits over the wings, and 2 doors in the back. Each door is equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a ramp. All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate the aisle topping behind the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bags are not inflated, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed, and all carrying items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Smoking, including use electronic cigarettes, is never allowed on any flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors and aircraft restrooms is
Hey, look who it is!
For your convenience,
Look who it is.
3 restrooms, one in the front of the cabin and 2 in the back, and each is equipped with an changing table.
How are we doing?
We'll be adjusting the main cabin lights for departure if you need it. There's
The
a
point.
waiting
Why
line
am I not
behind
pushing back? Oh, there we go.
Make sure you have a safe and comfortable flight. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy this experience.
Evening, Metallic. Alright, let's get our engines into the start. The ignition phase. See if we can get an engine start. Just wrapped up a fun and exciting, not meeting, running out the clock. I like it. So I had planned to be following along on VATSIM tonight, but I've been sat here for like 50 minutes waiting for the plane I was going to follow to actually do anything. And it seems like they're just not going to. So wow, my FPS is in the toilet. Need to sort out cold and dark for the 747. Yeah, me too. I was thinking about that because I'm not sure I'd know how to do it. Especially the Dash 8, because that is not going to be a thing like the 737 that we've become accustomed to, is it? Alright, parking brake on. It's not done with bleed air, is it, to start the engines? Am I right in saying that? Isn't it more kind of electronic with batteries and things? Yeah, a bit of a shame to not be following along on VATSIM tonight. I spent about an hour, or just under an hour, sat at the gate listening and taking it all in, so I guess it wasn't time wasted. But yeah, the person I was next to just didn't want to leave the gate. I don't know whether they had the same idea as me, but yeah, back in the bus this week. I do miss it. I do miss flying it. Though I am definitely getting a bit of an affinity for the 737. Having been... I thought my parking brake was on. Yeah, it is. Right, how are we doing down here? 68 and 2. So that's pretty good. Let's get the selector switch back to normal. Maximum auto brake, because you never know. Predictive wind shear auto. Lock the doors. Arm the spoilers. Put that into auto for now. Okay, so we don't need the APU bleed because they're started. We also don't need the APU because we're running on our own steam. Let's get strobes or taxi lights on. Other than that, I think we're good up top here. I think we're good. This has all been a bit piecemeal. I kind of did it in a bit of a rush to try and make sure I didn't lose my friend on Batsim, but then it never happened, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go live and do it, not on Batsim, so all a bit upside down tonight. 1011, local pressure, 1011. As well as I'm expecting proper rate to guess about if you're available. Good. We do a takeoff config. Seat belts, that's what I was forgetting. Stupid boy. And I've already pushed back. Yeah, I think I watched one of those real engineering videos. I don't know if you've ever watched that channel, but it's awesome. And one of the videos was about the insane engineering of the 787, and a big part of that was talking about how the engine start system differs. I think it's done by batteries. I'm sure it's done by batteries, like electric motors and batteries, as opposed to bleed air off the APU. And given that the Dash 8 is kind of the 747 inspired by the Dreamliner, I'm just wondering whether that might be the same sort of thing. I don't know. I'm never sure which cabin calls to make. I've got AFT and forward. I do AFT. It does clear the thing over there. Take off config normal. Yeah, don't know. Okay, so it's out of our little cul-de-sac where we are. Take a left onto November, then we can use... On VATSIM they were saying like use November 4, I think, to go down to Lima, then follow that along to runway 25C. Okay, let's get our cam on. Did you see that thing with the... what's it called? That 747 they used for putting out fires. What is it called? But it got taken down. It's like it launched and then a day later it was gone. Right. Got the old head tracking on. We're looking at these signs here. November. My FPS is not happy at the moment, is it? You can almost feel it lurching if you watch it very closely. There's November 4. We can use November 4. And then we should be able to turn left onto Lima. Signs for Lima, isn't it? Yes, it is. Definitely like the head tracking for on the ground. Though it feels a bit stuttery here tonight. That may just be my FPS being weird in general. Yes, it definitely, super tanker, thank you. Yeah, it definitely feels like cease and desist territory, doesn't it? I think we can jump on here because right, actually no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is one of the disadvantages of the head tracker. If I look over to my chat monitor, which is to my left, it means you will get to take a little trip out the left window. This will do nicely. Just hold it short here. Hard to get a bit dim in here, isn't it? Alright, so get the takeoff lights on. Let's do runway turn off because it is getting a bit on the dim side. And get ourselves up to Amsterdam. I love that view when you see all the lights line up like that. Alright, let's lose the head tracking for now. Everything seems to be remaining normal, that's good. Why has my screen just done that? That's weird. Okay, let's see if we get to get up to Amsterdam before the sun sets. Let's get the engines to about 40% N1. Holding on the brakes. Go Toga. Why is it saying takeoff inhibit? Did that last time. Okay, rotate. That's a bit of a slow rotation. Owing to flying left-handed, no doubt. Okay, so we've got this right turn. It does seem a little bit on the steep side. Of the flaps. Gauge autopilot. it's normal. What, the takeoff inhibit? It means it's shutting off alerts for non-takeoff related alerts. Oh, I didn't know that. It's the first time I've seen that. How are we doing up here? Standard pressure. Almost at 10,000. Start thinking about lights. Disarm the ground spoilers. Get these lights off. So, will we get to Amsterdam before the sun goes down? 36 minutes away. Could go either way. Could go either way. How many, and we're really not far away, are we? 250 miles. Where's my FPS in the toilet? See what's causing it. Limited by main thread. Is that my head tracking software, I wonder? Wait to find out. Close it. That would be a... No, it probably wasn't my head tracking software. Because the software is now closed. It's just that main thread getting a beating, isn't it? I don't believe I'm running Simbridge currently. But yeah, like the GPU's just sat there being like, yeah, cool. I'm good. It's just that main thread. It makes me wonder if I should stick a 5800X3 gear in my build. Even if it's like a stopgap. I do have the FSLTL running, but of course we actually don't have any of the planes spawning currently in the sim because I'm disconnected from VATSIM and it's all to do with VATSIM. What is that main thread doing? Time for a new PC and relegate this one as a streaming PC. Oh my goodness, don't say that. Don't say that. I was looking at a 7800X3D the other day, a 13900K, sort of comparing them, benchmarking them, that sort of thing. And that's a slippery slope, that is. It really is. And now I'm monetized, of course. Even though I don't make much money, I can be like, well, you know, it is for my business. Oh yeah, you just said, but I need it for my work. Great minds think alike. Like the amount of Apple stuff I would buy back when I was writing apps for the App Store. Be like, but I need it for my iOS development. I never needed it for my iOS development. And that was a very convenient narrative. Alright, turn coming up. Almost at cruise. Alright, let's get rid of that FPS counter because we can be fairly safe in the knowledge that it is rubbish. There we go. I used to write on the guitar. That's funny. There must be a threshold, right, with certain things where, like, if you try and write something off as tax, like when it comes to tax season and the inspectors look at it, they must be like, did he really need that iPhone 14 Pro Max, or... I remember talking to someone and they said they had a bit of a falling out with their accountant because they wanted a new office chair. And the accountant said, yeah, that's fine, go ahead. No more than £300. And the guy was like, well, first of all, I wasn't asking for permission because it's my money, and second of all, I don't want one for £300. I want a Herman Miller because it's better for my back and my body and my posture and my health. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Too much on a chair, it'll flag on the tax return, and then once they start looking into you, that's it, kind of thing. Oh, you got an air on. Nice. Okay. Is it actually as good as people say? Because I sat in one briefly in like a department store, and we'd been going around trying out office chairs, been to like IKEA, because I think they just launched their like gaming range of stuff. So we sat in that one of those, and it was like, yeah, it's not really that good, is it? It feels immediately cheap, and it feels immediately like it probably won't last, and honestly, it's not that comfortable. And then, of course, they had this Aeron in the department store we went in, and I was like, this is the nicest chair I've ever sat in. I now understand why it's so much. That's the other one, isn't it? The Embody. Did you sit in an Embody as well? Or was it just the Aeron and you're happy enough once you sat in the Aeron? What's the other one? The Steel Case Gesture? That's another one that's quite highly regarded, isn't it? I keep getting all these ads because, like, I look at one chair company and then like every ad that I see everywhere is now office chairs. And there's this one that keeps coming up again and again called Boulies. B-O-U-L-I-E-S, I believe. And I'm fairly certain it's like just one of those generic gamer chairs. You know, one of those where they come out of like maybe 1, 2 or 3 different factories and they just get white labelled to whatever brand once their logo's stitched on the headrest. And I'm fairly certain they're rubbish, but they look really nice. There's something about the design of that chair, the Boulies Master. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. But is it actually any good? I don't know. And it's only like $280, which I know isn't a nothing amount of money, but when you're talking about an office chair. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're in it 14 hours a day, then it almost becomes like one of those discussions like you hear in like the mattress adverts. It's like, well, if you're in the bed for a third of your life, it should probably be a pretty good bed, right? But you still work from home? 100%. Is that unusual now? I find it hard to tell based on hearing different people say different things. I'm getting the sense that office is sort of coming back in a little bit more now. I think really it's not like a one size fits all, is it? You kind of got to look at, even as a company, I think it's a bit short-sighted to be like, as a company we are saying everyone must be hybrid, or everyone must be work from home, or everyone must be work from office. It's like, you probably need to look at everyone on a case-by-case basis, if that's, see if it's working. If it's working better, then like, why wouldn't you? How are we doing here then? We've still got a little minute to go yet. I'm surprised this hasn't asked for destination data yet. I forget what the number is that is the trigger for it asking. Probably a good time actually to look at our route down. Oh, there it goes. Destination data. I thought it was 180. 179 is obviously the trigger when it goes under. Alright, let's do that quickly, then we'll check out what the plan is for the way down. How much of this can I remember? 1016, 20 degrees and 12 and 20. 20 degrees and 12. That's not nothing, is it? 1016. 20 degrees. I haven't got a chart open, so I'll just put 200 in radio. Alright, good. So we're at 24,000 and at R-tip. Where's R-tip? It's probably not there. Yeah, we need to be 8,500 and 250 knots, of course, because we're under 10,000. .49 miles required. We do it at 2,000 feet a minute. 51 miles required. So I mean, basically once we get to Sansa, just before Sansa, isn't it, we want to start. So where is Sansa if we're going to plan? Sansa, there it is. Just about there. So in between Norku and Sonsa would make sense. Got 17, 16, 33, plus 13, 46. So yeah, when we're halfway between Norku and Sonsa, I think it would be time to make our way down. Oh hey Harry, how's it going? How are you getting on? A little bit unsure how tonight's stream was going to go, really, because I just sort of appeared live. I didn't schedule it. The thumbnail was a bit last minute, so it's a bit of a rubbish thumbnail, to be honest. Work day done. You made it. Good job, good job. Well, nice to finally catch you in a live stream anyway. I know I'm usually the wrong time of day, aren't I? I should do more evening shifts, especially with VATSIM as well. Because, like, it's a bit like crickets in the morning. In Europe and the UK, at least. Oh, you just started playing IVAO. Nice. Any reason you chose that over VATSIM, or? I say tonight, the plan tonight, Harry, was that we were going to do a flight on VATSIM in observer mode, so I can see them but they can't see me, so I'm not basically going to annoy them by getting in their way. I picked a plane on the ground at Frankfurt that was going to Amsterdam, and we're going to follow them and try and listen for all of their ATC and try and pretend I'm them to learn the ropes, essentially. But the plane we were due to follow just sat at the gate for like 45 minutes, and I'm sat here being like, oh, come on, come on, come on. So I didn't want to go live and just be sat at the gate. I wanted to wait until we were maybe just getting ready to taxi, then put the stream live. So in the end I just gave up, and we're just flying on our own. Yeah, I've never tried it, Harry. I've only recently started to dip my toe in with VATSIM. Alright, so we've got a little while yet. I mean, this 8.5 is actually a range, isn't it? Because you look over here, it's got beneath 10, above 7. So as long as we are below 10, which we should be. Oh, the phonetic alphabet. Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that. It's more knowing what to say and when to say it is my issue. Nice flight. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I think observer mode with VATSIM is very cool. I don't know if IVAO have that. Sweet, how you doing? Long time. I saw you in a stream the other day, Sweet. Forget who it was. Maybe it was British AV Geek. I saw you in the chat. I almost said hello, but I had to run out and stop watching myself, so. Yeah, we're starting to dip our toe in with VATSIM. I don't feel like I'm ready to stream and do VATSIM yet. I'm kind of doing a little bit off stream. Oh, you've been for that. How was it? Did you get to take control? I guess they normally do, don't they? They sort of let you have a go once you're up, I think. Decided to upgrade your RAM. Oh, you sent the monitor in. That was the, correct me if I'm wrong, Lenovo? Was it the Lenovo? Yeah, you were having big problems with that, weren't you? What RAM did you do? Alright, we are very, very close to six miles to Norku. Then when we're about 5 miles away or so, .32 gig. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, my frames are not doing well today. I don't know what's going on in my system. I would like reset the whole thing, but it's just like, oh. Can't be bothered with that unless I really, really, really have to. Alright. I would say we are about 5 miles away from top of descent, so let's get 8,000 in the window up here, get ourselves a bit ready, so that when the time comes, we can do it. We'll do it at 2,000 feet per minute. And let's make a start. Whoops. Now then, don't be expecting a particularly good landing tonight. I'm still very much learning how to fly left-handed. I'm on like day 2, really. We do have yoke cam set up, so we'll put the camera on. There we go, there's the camera. So I've got my joystick over here on the left now, throttles on the right, or of course it was the other way around. And I've gotten so used to it being the way it was. It's very hard to adjust. The previous RAM at 3200 megahertz was an older 16 gig set. The current one runs at 24. Your system doesn't support XMP? You sure? That's brilliant, Harry. That's fantastic. Good for you. He caught the bug now. Oh, do you know what motherboard you have? Is it extra RAM stick worth it? Depends on what you have. I mean, I had 16 gig for a long time. And everything was fine for the most part. But the little dips in performance were noticeable. I would always find it on short final. When you get to about 50 feet, you would bring the throttles back to idle. It would be then that it's almost like, because you hadn't touched the throttles in a while, it's almost like they'd been parked in memory or something. You touch it, it almost like goes, oh, throttles are awake. And then the sim would stutter for like a microsecond. Literally the moment you move the throttles, having not touched them for ages. 32 gig has gotten rid of that. Pre-built system motherboard. EO3630. Let's Google it. I have got a video on the channel, just so you're aware, of 16 gig versus 32, if you haven't already watched it. So basically, I took my system, ran a load of benchmarks with 32 gig, took two of the sticks out, re-ran those benchmarks with 16 gig, and then did like side-by-sides. So you might find that useful. It wasn't that long ago. If you scroll back through, you should find it. Okay, it would seem that you're right, Sweet. It cannot support XMP. Yeah, quite a lot of the pre-built stuff, it's designed. They don't want you in there, do they? They do not want you in there. You sort of can't blame them, really. Like, how many warranty requests must they get because someone tried to fiddle and broke it? I think it's because the chipset on your motherboard is like a budget chipset, maybe B550, and that chipset I think does not support XMP. B560, yeah. Ah, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? Alright, we're going to need to start slowing ourselves down as well here, because I think I'll do manual control of the speed. I'm having some weirdness with the speed on recent flights. Yeah, so we are struggling to do the descent. No, I don't think so, Swee. Like, I'm not sure that's kind of Windows program territory, really. Right, let's just level ourselves out. 10,000. To A, lose this speed. There we go. Let's get ourselves down to 7,000. How do you set altitude? So just this dial here, if I use the right click button, it puts it into manage mode, hence you get that dot after the 7,000. So that means the plane is going to get us down to 7,000, keeping in mind I've set the speed to a locked 250. So it will keep the speed at 250 as best it can, and it will adjust the rate of descent to ensure it stays at 250. So it's chosen 1500 as the feet per minute as the rate of descent that it can achieve while also keeping us at 250 knots. Now if I was to slow us down, 240, see how the rate of descent is coming right back? Because the plane is managing that to ensure we stay at 240. It does mean sometimes that you can't descend at a rate that is quick enough to your liking, so you can do speed brakes, things like that. There we go, so now look, it's going at 2,300 feet per minute because we've told it to go back to 250. So actually it can afford to do that while we're gaining speed. Once we hit 250, that is going to start ratcheting itself back. Alright, so we're at 8.5, what's the next thing we've got to be at? $15 miles required. How many have we got? 3, 7. Okay, so AM 667. Should be good. We're going to need to be decelling at that point as well. Set the alt and right click it, or if you wanted to, the other way to do it is you set the altitude. So I don't know, if we wind it down to, I'll just get us down to 6 to give you an example. On this wheel here you can twist it. We can do it at say minus 1500 feet per second. Click, hold the click, and then click your mouse wheel. Or at least that's how it is on my system. And there, look. Now, the other thing to consider, look, because we're not in managed mode, because I've chosen 1500 feet per second, per minute, that might be a little bit on the quick side. Because look, we are now above 250 knots. So at this point I would introduce some speed brakes. There they go. Which, lo and behold, brings the speed back. We also need to go down to 220 knots. Okay, let's get rid of those speed brakes. How do you stop? Not sure what you mean, Harry. How do I stop what? How do I stop it descending? It will stop on its own when it reaches the value that I put in here, so 6,000, it stopped on its own. It won't keep doing 1,500 feet per minute. Indefinitely it will stop when it hits the altitude you tell it to be at. MSI Afterburn, are you sure that's not for graphics card memory? Alright, sweet, it happens to us all. Okay, so the plane I was due to follow has just taken off from Frankfurt, so I'd have been sat there for like another 58 minutes had I not decided to go it alone, which is a bit of a shame, because it would have been nice to have done a bit of that sim on the channel tonight, albeit in observer mode, but... Local pressure still 10. Oh, it's 1017. It's changed. This has changed as well. It's all changed. 350 and 10. 1017. $350 and 10, which is slightly more in our favour, I think, compared to what it was advertising earlier. 1017. Guessing it's also not 20 degrees. It said it's 20 degrees. It's quite warm out there. Right, let's get down to 2,000 feet. We also need to get down to 180 knots. Let's do that. It's too far. Oh yeah, sweet, it's a good job you didn't. Oh, look at that view. If you haven't already, if you could do us a massive favour and hit the like button, that would be very much appreciated. We've had 55 viewers tonight so far, but only 4 likes. That's terrible. One of which was me, I think. Oh no, I mean 55 in total, sweet. As in the people that passed through the door and been and gone. Right, how are we looking up here then? Okay, let's get the last bit of flaps out. There we go. Whoops, I forgot to do standard pressure, or local pressure rather. Let's get the landing system on.
2,500.
Get the gear down. Gives us a bit of drag. We're coming in hot.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Lucy! I hope I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not. Nice to see you. How are you? Alright, we're going to do... auto brake medium. Flaps full, spoilers armed. Days. Right, it's nearly that time. Nearly that time. So we're flying left-handed. So this could go very, very badly. Got the landing system ready to go. What have we got over here? Look, we've got glide slope. Got the localizer. Obviously we're coming in at a bit of an angle here. Sweet, I appreciate the good vibes. I think we may need it. Here we go. See if we can get approach mode on the go to get us started. Localizer has been captured. So with a bit of luck, once this diamond hits our yellow bar here in the middle, the plane will start descending. There it goes. Alright, my plane. Still don't like the feel of this. Feels absolutely backwards. Still, the wind is with us. Very, very pleasant wind conditions. And a little bit on the high side. Just need to bring that back a little bit. I feel like I snake a bit too much left-handed at the moment. I feel like I snake my way down, which I don't think I used to do that much with flying right-handed.
1,000.
1,000. Here we go. Getting serious now. Picture's looking good. Feels like we're going to be a little bit low if we're not careful here. Maybe just over to the right a bit and straighten out. There we go. Yeah, we're a touch on the low side. It feels like it according to
500.
And the Pappies.
$400. 300. 200.
Don't go too low.
100.
There we go. This is looking good.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
That'll do. That will do. Okay, reversers. And we'll come off here. Not quite on the touchdown zone, or the touchdown marking point I should say, but well within the touchdown zone. Pretty happy with that. I'll give that a strong 7 out of 10. Let's just bring ourselves to a halt up here a minute. There we go. Okay, so lights off. We'll leave taxi. Leave them on as taxi. Strobes off. Right, what else are we doing? APU start. And I think there's nothing else for us to do right at this moment. Let's see if we can find ourselves a gate. Feels like we should maybe go to the left. Cheers, Harry. Cheers, sweet. Lucy, appreciate it, thank you. Again, I apologise if I'm saying your name wrong. I feel like I am every time I say it. I feel bad about that, so apologies. I think that's probably the hardest thing about YouTube that I didn't expect to be hard. Just trying to pronounce people's names. Both real names and like screen names, because some people's like screen names are just like, what is that? Always struggled with pronouncing names, so I apologise. Oh, the coffee cup for the A320. Yeah, you know what? I nearly made one the other day, actually, because I found it in my livery folder. I was like, oh, I should overwrite that with my logo. I must get round to that. That got me thinking maybe I should actually sell coffee mugs with like the Air Not logo on it, like actual coffee mugs, if somebody wanted one. I don't know if they would. One of my many stupid ideas, probably. Yeah, a bit of a weird stream tonight. Ideally, I think if I knew I wasn't going to fly on VATSIM, I mean, obviously I tried to do that at the start and it all went a bit wrong. I would have probably started at like 7:30 and we could have gone, or maybe even earlier, we could have gone a bit further. But we'll take what we got for tonight. We'll take what we got. Oh, no time for the return, Harry. Not only that, it is currently 29 degrees in my shed. It is absolutely roasting in here. So I think I'm going to take the opportunity to get out of here. Also, I'm going to be launching memberships on the channel very, very soon. They've just been approved by YouTube. There's a couple of more bits and bobs that I need to sort out. There should also be a Discord to go alongside it. So one of the perks is we'll be able to get a link to the Discord. Obviously, people that have been around for a long time, such as yourselves in the chat tonight, I would look to invite you into the Discord anyway, just because, you know, I'm not too worried about you must pay to get into the Discord or anything, but just for like future people to come through, it's almost like a bit of a barrier to stop the spammers and the nuisance people. Good bit of advice I heard months ago, from a content creator was, if you're going to have a Discord, put it behind a paywall for goodness sake, because you'll just make your life so much easier. Keeping the riffraff out. So when that's all good to go, I will let you all know. Maybe I'll do a community post to let you know that the memberships are live if you want one, and also when we're live over the coming days, I'll pop some like 30-minute links in the chat so that they'll expire within 30 minutes of me posting them. But if you're in the chat and you want to join, then you'd be more than welcome. But yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity to get out of this furnace and go and take a shower, because it is not pretty in here, I'm not going to lie. It's the heat of the summer at the moment, and my gaming PC kicking out about 400 watts. Slowly cooking me. So there we have it. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. Not entirely sure when I'll be back. Busy weekend coming up, so I can't say 100%. I would hope, well, definitely Monday morning, because that's when we always do it, Monday morning. Maybe we might get a Sunday night one in, if we're lucky. But if I don't see you all, have a great weekend, and thank you all very much indeed for your company as always, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.